I came across these videos recently on the internet. Can you guess what's happening here? The woman sitting in the middle of the field, she's actually the owner of this field. She's crying hysterically because all the people that rush into the field, they're not there to help her gather her crop. They're there to rob her in her face. This is actually one of the many cases like this happening in Henan province in China recently, and it's not just this year, it happened the year before and the year before as well. You may be wondering, why are people robbing each other in China, in communist China? Well, I grew up in communist China, so maybe I could explain. When these kind of videos first surfaced the internet, people were arguing that these people are just gleaning. So according to Wikipedia, gleaning is the act of collecting leftover crops from farmers' fields after they have been commercially harvested or on fields where it is not economically profitable to harvest. These people, the people do glean, the gleaners, they are doing it at the cost and the expense of the field owners, making them unable to do their work. As we can see in this video, this man is yelling to all the aunties and uncles in the field saying, I beg of you, please, please keep a distance from the machines. What if the machine hit you? Because you can see these machines are there to harvest the crop, but because people are so close to the machines, they can't operate the machine. And in the next video,
你说这现在干点啥咋就这么难呢啊？你说养个收割机收个地都这么费劲。
This woman is in the seat trying to operate this harvest machine. She politely told everyone to please get away from the machine so that she could actually do her job, but none of them budged. In this video, you can also see that people were yanking the corns directly from the corn plants. That's not gleaning, that's called stealing or robbing because it's right in front of her face. But it gets worse.
这有句话怎么说呢？一人种地，百人开心。你看。
The words on screen, it says one person does the work and 100 people benefit from it with a crying emoji. All these people, they came prepared. They came with large plastic bags and they all drove these three-wheeled motorcycle trucks. They're ready to haul, okay? They're ready to haul away big bags of crops home. And in the field, you see a man holding a megaphone. He's the owner of the field and he's warning people to back off and don't come into his field, but as you can imagine, it doesn't work because it's one man against 100 and people just rushed in and start picking up whatever they want to, as if it's a self-pick farm. So what can you do in this case? Well, the next man is the guy you see right here. He's holding a large stick with a bright orange thing attached to it. It looks like a plastic shovel of some sort, and he's chasing people away himself, trying to get people to go away and don't take his stuff. So I really wouldn't call this gleaning anymore. These people, they're clearly taking crop against the owner's will, without their approval, and they are not poor or hungry that needs these things to survive. They're there to make a profit. The videos that we saw in the beginning of this video, the woman crying in the field, well, she grew some Chinese medicinal herbs and she spent all the hard work, labor, time, and energy and money into this field. But in the end, when all the people rushed in to take it from her, they're selling it for 6 yuan, 6 RMB per jin, and when the market price is actually 10 RMB per jin. So they're selling it at a 40% discount. So not only they're robbing the crops, they're also making it impossible for her to actually sell her hard-grown crop at a reasonable price. So how did it get to this point? To modern Chinese people, money and self-interest is the only thing they care about because they don't believe in afterlife, they don't believe in karmic retribution, they don't think something like this could happen to them in the future. We were brought up and told to not believe in anything other than what our eyes can see. Anything that's related to God, to Buddhas, to divine, to Tao's, everything is considered superstition and labeled as being ridiculous. People were ridiculed in school by your friends, by your teacher, by your, family sometimes for believing such things. But in ancient China, people actually believed, people were very spiritual. There's one principle in Buddhism that basically says if you do good deeds, you will be rewarded with good deeds, with good things happening to you. If you do bad deeds, bad things will happen to you. It's called karmic retribution. In ancient China, everyone believed that. So people wouldn't do something like this. You're clearly taking someone else's property in front of them, causing great agony. In this case, this poor old woman sitting in the middle of the field, crying her heart out. But look around her. No one cared about it. And these people around her, they all came from either her village or neighboring villages. And they're all doing this on their fellow villager. So it's very heartbreaking. After I saw this video, like her cry just stayed with me. It's very heartbreaking to see this. And the horrible thing is, these people that's doing it with the crowd, right? They really don't think they're doing something wrong. Like, look at this photo. A person is bragging about her elderly mother being very diligent and hardworking. I give her that. She is hardworking as stealing other people's crops. But in her text, it says her mom picked up or gleaned 1,000 jin of corn, which is equivalent to 500 kilograms of corn. Like, who just pick up 500 kilograms of corn, right? The mom is one of the mob that we saw and gathered all these corn from her neighbors or neighboring villages, and the daughter here is just showing off online as if this is some great achievement. So the moral standard has declined so much that people don't even think this is wrong anymore. And things are happening everywhere in China like this. Like, for example, this guy, he's saying, "My dear villagers, it's very hard to farm. Please have pity on me." So this guy in 2017 was growing peanuts in the field. And whenever it's the harvest season, people would just come and take the peanuts from him. And then he switched to barley, and same thing. People would just, he said there are at least 500 people in the field picking up. And in the end, he said, it's not scary if your income is low, but it's a problem if your morality is too low. So I think this guy said it pretty nicely. And my biggest concern is that now that people know in Henan province, if you grow a field, putting in hard labor and work, and when it's time to harvest, other people will just come in and rob you like that, then who would still want to grow a field in that province? Back in 1959 to 1961, China experienced the greatest famine in human history called the Great Chinese Famine. It lasted 3 years. Countless people died. And one of the reasons was because Communist Party was trying to really practice communism. They told everyone to work in what the government told you to work in, and then put all your harvest into the public warehouse, and then everyone is not allowed to keep their own stash. And then when there's a need, you can go to the warehouse to take however much you need. And guess what? People just kept taking. They can take whatever they want. And soon, the warehouse is empty. And no one is doing more farming. And then that's how the Great Famine basically started. So I'm actually concerned that now that people are doing this to each other in China, robbing other people's field, eventually people are going to stop farming. Because who want their hard-worked field to be robbed by other people like that, right? And what would that lead to? Famine. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Ali, and I'll see you next time.